Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you were able to rest and enjoy your time off. I know it goes so fast. Mine went like that. So now we're back to, you know, a little normalcy before the Christmas holiday. And I kind of have something to share today that is, I feel like I'm kind of peeling off a layer of something that is just going to expose something bigger that needs to be talked about. So what I'm going to do this morning is just tell you what came to me and what I feel. Good morning, Clarice. Nice to see you. That we need to start paying attention to, and why it I feel like it came to me. It started off when I was working on somebody who I couldn't find anything wrong in the normal ways, as far as imbalances. No virus, she was having all the symptoms of virus. I checked for bacteria, I checked for infections, parasites. I went through the gamut because nothing was coming up. And I usually what happens is I'll go into, okay, what are you eating? That's a lot of what we do to ourselves is what we're eating and what we're ingesting. And that's where, the little aha moments started coming. But what was interesting is I kept seeing DNA strand. I kept seeing and I thought, okay, let's go there. So the topic I would like to bring up is GMOs. I think, and I have a feeling by bringing this up, I'm just going to start this cascade of more. I'm a little obsessed about it right now. I'm feeling a little bit charged about talking about this and sharing about this. And in fact, you know what? I think I'm going to add on my Facebook, this post, I'm going to add a couple videos that you can watch that will broaden your knowledge about GMOs if you're not familiar with them, and why they affect you, and why, excuse me, why we need to be aware of them, and how they can change our DNA, and how they can disrupt the imbalances in your body. And so you can do all the right things. You can eat all the right foods. Gosh, excuse me. I think it's dry air this holiday. It's getting colder out. This, especially, thinking about, we want to be able to go into this new year. And a lot of us are like, okay, we chowed down on Thanksgiving and we decided to let it all go. And then, Christmas is coming and we're making cookies and all kinds of stuff. And even if we're doing the best that we can, we still always kind of have this New Year's resolution where we want to do better. All right. But let's just wait till after the holidays. And, that's fine. This isn't about me preaching or saying you should do anything. What it is about me needing to tell you that the foods that you ingest, if you're eating foods with genetically modified organisms, GMOs, you are, you could possibly and most likely be changing your DNA in a negative way. And it could also be the one thing that you're not doing, that is, when you're doing all the right things, to whether you have a chronic illness or you're trying to lose weight, or you have allergies, and you're doing all the right things and you're following your doctor's orders and you're researching and you're looking. Sometimes it's as simple as what you're ingesting, and by taking things out and then watching how you feel is really the best way to figure it out. You don't need to go to a doctor to do that. I know when we got off gluten in my house, which we don't, we eat gluten, we do. It's more about we limit it. We're aware of it. And when we do eat more of it, we know how we feel, or we get sick or something like that. And so we pay the consequences for it. It's kind of like, always cracks me up when I watch that commercial about lactose intolerance, because I've been lactose intolerant for years as far as just regular milk, anything with soft dairy in it, like soft serve ice cream, things like that. My guess is there's a lot of other chemicals in it as well, but I, I went through the phases of being off, dairy. I was lactose intolerant. And then I went to soy, and then I realized how bad soy was. And then I went to, other kinds of milks. And it's nonstop. And then you're like, well, I got to get one that's organic. But then, oh, wait, not all organic is GMO free. And then you're like, well, I got to get the GMO free. You could get in a spin. And that's not my point. My point is to get you to pay attention to what you're paying attention to what's going on in your body, and think, okay, well, if I take this out, is that going to, do I feel better? And back to that commercial, it's like that commercial for lactose intolerance where they're like, well, here, take this pill so that you can eat tons of ice cream, or take this pill so when you drink milk, you don't feel sick. I mean, I don't see how that logically makes any sense at all. It's like, if the milk is making you sick, then you shouldn't be drinking the milk. There's something in the milk. If you have to take a pill so you don't have acid reflux or inflammation in your gut and have gas, so you can eat all that Mexican food or eat something really, it's just counterintuitive. I feel like we're fighting against something that we can't control. We are changing structurally with the spiritual, I feel like there's this connection right now that's even bigger. We're spiritually changing as beings. We're going from this body of being a carbon-based being into a crystal-based being, and we are a silicone. I'm sorry, and we're changing, and there's no way we can avoid it. But somehow we want to stay where we are. We want to take pills so that we can still eat these foods that are making us sick. And I kind of want to put that out there for you guys right now. I just really feel like do some research on GMOs. GMOs, the word genetically modified organisms scares me, actually, just that saying it out loud. GMO doesn't sound so bad but when you say it in what it really means, it's genetically modified organism. They take an organism and they modify it. They change it from what it is into something else, and they tell you it's the same thing. And then you're like, oh, I'll just eat that. And then you wonder why you have inflammation, or you have chronic fatigue, or you have all of these autoimmune disorders, or you have, inflammation, which really inflammation causes 90% of everything that's going on with everybody right now. And so, they put it in food so they last longer. The farmers can make more. They modify it so that the crop doesn't get as many insects attacking it. That the animals can have not this disease, but they still end up getting these other ones. It's like it makes no logical sense whatsoever that we are putting these toxins into our body. But it's almost impossible to stay away from them too. I mean, it's in 90% of, probably 99% of every packaged food, bottled food, anything that's processed, which is what we consume. We're busy and our kids are, doing this or that. And you're just like, oh, we're just running and we'll get this, Half the time we eat chicken, we don't know where it's coming from. It's like, and what they're eating, and then it says organic, but is the soil really organic? At this point, soil is, people can say it's organic because they're not putting pesticides on it, but that doesn't mean that the soil has a lot of nutrient-based density in it, So this is a topic, like I said, that I could just go on and on about. There's lots of little videos we could do, but today, really what I wanted to talk about was the fact that when you put genetically modified organisms in your body, you're literally changing. Your body doesn't know what to do with it, first of all. Second of all, once it has it so much, your body starts learning what to do with it, but we're genetically modifying our bodies then. And we're not very successful at it because 90% of us who are doing it have adverse reactions. So if you're if you have the opportunity to, and I'm going to put the question up here today. So the question I have for everybody today is, what foods are you consuming with GMOs in it? Just start with that. And then think about it. Think about why you chose that food, why you need that food, why do you think they genetically modified it? What part of this food needed to be genetically modified so that it could be purchased by you? And just do some research. I think, I remember Oprah saying once, I mean, Oprah had a lot of great, shows. We all miss Oprah, but she had, I remember her saying, knowledge is power, and knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Like, that's the best quote I think anybody's ever said. Knowledge is power. And also, I think it was Hippocrates, food is medicine. Food is medicine. And that came to me last night too. I couldn't stop. I was like 2 a.m. I was just like, GMO, food is medicine. I was like, stop. Okay, I'll talk about it. So I think it's a good topic to talk about now, we're getting into the month of December. We're going into a new year. We are having a lot of energetic shifts on the planet, a lot of spiritual shifts, a lot of shifting our physical bodies, having a lot of dramas and traumas coming up to the surface to be worked on. And the last thing we want to do is make our bodies suffer anymore. We need to be strong and healthy. We need to focus on putting nutrient-based, dense food into our systems, minerals. I cannot specify minerals and water. Minerals. Liquid minerals, any kind of minerals. Just make sure your minerals are clean and come from a good source. I prefer liquid minerals. They taste really nasty, but I'm still working on one that I can find in a pill form. And when I do find one, I'll post it. I still have trouble getting my family to take them because they can be kind of, the really quality ones can be kind of tough, but we need all of these nutrients, all these minerals that we're not getting from our soil, and then we're putting GMOs into our system. I mean, what are we doing? It makes no logical sense. And then we cry and we worry about why we're not getting better. Okay, so I'm off my soapbox for that today. I just really want to challenge you guys. Look what foods you're consuming with GMOs. I'm going to go through my cupboard because I have a feeling that I've sort of forgotten about this for a while, and I probably have several things in there. Sometimes I feel like I go to the grocery store just to buy snacks, and it just came to me, when you think about it, guys, we do a few things to dull our systems when we're feeling stressed, right? When we're feeling anxiety or stress from the day. These are the 3 things I do. Maybe you guys don't do it. It's either sugar, alcohol, or packaged snack foods like chips and puffs and anything I can do that on. And there's something about it that just calms my system. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. And when you think about it, all 3 of those things dull the nervous system, and they also don't allow you to feel. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to check out. So these packaged foods that we buy, and these packaged foods we give our kids with soy lectin in it, the granola bars. I mean, I did that for years for my daughter. It's probably, messed her up. I don't know. But, these kinds of things are in everything that we feed ourselves and our children, and we have to really think about what we're doing. Again, it's not to cut everything out and be like freaked out. That's not my goal here. My goal is to just get you to be aware of what you're putting in your mouth and how you feel. Okay, so I hope that with that you guys have a good challenge on that today, and I am going to end with that, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, have a great day, and I hope you create a great day for yourself. Oh, by the way, I just want to put out there, because I always forget to say this, I have the ability to that's part of what I do for, this is my business, is that I can scan your body to see if you have you have a GMO, you have like toxins in your systems from GMOs, or there's something specific that you're eating that you're concerned about, or you're not getting better with your chronic illness. This is something that we can look at as, obviously I'll look at the gamut, but this part, what you're ingesting and the toxins you're putting in your body, if they're connected to it, that's something I can check for you. So check out my website. I offer free consultations, so that would be totally part of that. And you can see if it's something that fits for you to have a session with me. Anytime I have my group sessions, that's a great time to ask just like a one or two, one quick question that you have about, is this what's going on? And I can check for you in a more inexpensive way. That is with a group, so keep in mind with groups, there's some people might feel a little intimidated by that, but to be honest with you, in a group it's even better, because usually someone's question you're learning from. So you might get your question asked, but you get to listen to 4 or 5 other people ask questions, and you learn from their questions about something maybe you're interested in. And people come together who are connected and drawn together for a reason. So if you're in a group with certain people, most likely it's because you're there. Your guidance has got you there to learn from what they're asking as well. So hopefully that helps, and I wanted to plug that in there. So check out my website. I'll put all this information on this post and a couple videos that I think you guys, it might just trigger some awareness. If you're not familiar with it, they'll educate you, and they'll just kind of get you started off on this, like, oh boy, this is something I need to pay attention to. Okay? All right. Again, what foods are you consuming with GMOs? And we'll talk tomorrow. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.